to Julie's Wreath Boutique, and I'm really excited to show you how to use the football wreath frame from Dollar Tree. So not only am I going to show you, but this is the collab with my friends from YouTube and in real life, Amber from This Southern Girl Can and Michelle from A Noble Touch Crafts. We have teamed up. Our pumpkin wreath tutorials were a hit. I will leave all three of those in the description box below, so check that out. And because you guys enjoyed that so much, you requested a football wreath challenge. So this is what we're doing. We're all having a different take. I'm doing more of a fall theme and gonna show you what my first thought when I picked these up at the Dollar Tree probably 3 weeks ago, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that today. So let's get started. Let's talk about what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to make a centerpiece. I know, Julie, you're not making a football wreath. I don't understand. Well, I'm not a football person, and this is kind of a small frame, guys. I mean, it's only about 13 inches from this end to this end. And then it's like 7 inches wide. So, I mean, you could make a football wreath out of this, and hang it on your door, but it's just not going to be very big. And for me, that's not what I saw when I saw this frame. I thought, wow, what a perfect shape for a centerpiece. And if you're like me, I always think, oh, I'm going to do something really cool, but I never get to it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use a lot of Dollar Tree items, and then I'm going to use some things that I've had on hand that I've gotten probably from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's over the years. So the first thing we're going to start with is, of course, the frame. And then I got a Dollar Tree floral foam. It's the dry foam. And this is newer at my Dollar Tree. I didn't know that they had these until like this year. They always had like the ones that were half. So to get one this big was like a big win in my eyes, when you just don't need, you know, you can buy a pack of these at the craft store, but they want you to buy like 7 of them. And sometimes we don't need 7 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to line this up pretty good. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I want it to be enough so that it's kind of centered, because everything that we're going to put in this wreath is going to go into this. So I have it pretty much centered for the best way I can see. You might be looking and say, Julie, it's not centered, but it'll work. It'll work. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press it down, because I want my frame to touch the table here. It wasn't touching the table. So I've got that part. So I'm going to take some of my floral pens here. You can see what I'm using. And I'm going to grab my glue gun, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the edges of this. See, I'm getting stuff there, but I'm going to go in between where these 2 wires are on the ends here, and I'm going to put them on each end so that we know this is going to stay put. It's okay if I get glue on the foam. Nobody's going to see it. So this is just going to help keep it in place. Let's see here. I can't see from behind. I should probably just turn it. That would probably be a good idea. All right, one more. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the felt. So before I got on this video, I traced the felt, just a scrap piece of felt. I traced it in the shape of the football. Now with this, you could do a couple things. You could just glue down, you know, if you wanted to do that, but I'm just going to take a few zip ties and I'm going to connect it to the base of this wreath. And then that way, when it's sitting on something, it's not going to be like bare wires or anything like that. So I'm just going to do this and I will come right back. Okay, so you can see I have the felt on the bottom. So the bottom is nice and finished off. The foam isn't going to go anywhere, so that's good. So let's talk about the base. What I did is I grabbed 3 of these fall foliage garlands. They're 5 foot long. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 of them, and I'm just simply going to zip tie them around the base and all over this wreath form. So if I take one here, I'm probably going to just start at the bottom here, And I'm just going to take a little zip tie. You could even hot glue this stuff if you want, but I'm going to use a zip tie to kind of start it off. And you could just do this, a few times per garland, because you want the leaves to kind of stick out and kind of cover the base. So you're just going to get it started, and you're just going to have fun with it. I want you to be creative. I want you just to kind of say, all right, this is the base of my wreath, so let's get this going. You could even, like right here, you could put a, of course I don't have one of my pens when I need them. You could take one of those floral pens and you could go like this and have it in there. And then you're just gonna keep going around until you run out of garland to add, okay? And so I'm gonna do this with all 3 of them, and I'm gonna make sure that my leaves are like facing, like this needs to be facing upwards. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna turn that one over. And then I will be back and we'll talk about the next step. So 3 of these garlands all over the football is like the base of our centerpiece. I wanted to say wreath, but it's not a wreath. So I'm going to keep going and I'll be right back. Okay, so it might look like a little bit of a hot mess, but we're building our base for our centerpiece. And what I do like to do is I did zip ties and I did the little pins. You could even use like pipe cleaners if that's what you had. But I would just naturally pull the leaves. Like for instance, this leaf is covered by a stem right here. So I'm just going to pull this leaf right over top of it. And I really think that that looks really nice for Dollar Tree foliage. I think it looks really nice. So what I decided to do for the next step was I knew I had a bunch of leaves at home, so I didn't buy a bunch of Dollar Tree leaves. Now they do have some Dollar Tree leaves that you can use. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to I clipped pieces and I'm just going to go through here and I'm just going to fill where I think we need some help, and I want to just kind of fill it all over here. And you're just gonna have fun with it, and there's no rhyme or reason. Just stick them in wherever you want. So if you put one here, maybe put one on this side to kind of help balance it out. It's like just balancing out your work is what you're trying to do here. So I'm just going to keep putting these in and just, finding some bare spots. We've got some flowers. I want to show you how to take, some Dollar Tree flowers and kind of build them up a little bit, make them a little bit fuller, because you know how Dollar Tree flowers can be a little sparse sometimes. So I like this leaf combination. I can't remember where I got this, but I'm just going to make some cuts here. I don't know that's not going to be that doesn't have any wire in it, but I'm just going to put it in here and use one of the pens, the floral pens. And I have a lot of my supplies that I use are all in my Amazon shop. So you just kind of push it down in there. And I'm just liking how this looks. I think this is going to be really pretty. If you have a table like mine, I just have a round table in my dining room. And so I can't really put a really big, like long centerpiece. So this will be perfect. I could put this in like a little tray that I have on my table, and it will be perfect. So I'm just going to put a few more of these, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to kind of make your Dollar Tree flowers a little fancier. Maybe look like they cost more than $1. So we'll be right back. Okay, so here are the sunflowers that I found at the Dollar Tree. So you get like 5 flowers per stem. So I want to try to get at least 2 good flowers. Now that is a flower that I kind of dismantled some of these and I added some. I'm sure you've seen this on YouTube before. I bet you even Amber's done this one. But I've seen this years ago, somebody doing this, deconstructing it, putting it back together, and look how pretty that flower is. Now that looks like a flower that came from a bush that you spend a lot of money on, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on to make something beautiful. Right here you can see I've got all this full with just extra little leaves that I had on hand. Okay, so you could use just Dollar Tree stuff. It's really up to you. But what I want to show you how to do, so I'm going to take one flower here. So I'm going to take this as my base flower, and all you're going to do is you're going to just deconstruct it. You're going to take out the little top, little furry part, okay? And you know what I'm going to do, because this is not connecting to this, I'm going to put a little bit of glue here just to kind of help keep that stable. So I'm going to set that to the side. Now I'm going to take this one apart because I want to use the little petals. We're going to just keep adding. So I'm going to take these petals, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. It's not really the glue that's holding it together, it's the middle part. And I'm just going to put that over top. I'm going to try to line up the little holes there, as you can see. It's the hole that it goes through. All right. And then we have one more. So let's add this one more. I kind of like the variegation and color in this one. Don't need that. Put a little bit of glue. And this is just going to make a whole new, fuller flower for you. If you don't see the hole, what you can do is you can kind of force your way through. So then I'm going to take the top and I'm going to try to find it. Okay. We might have to get our scissors out. You're going to just keep pushing. It's coming through. There you go. Actually, I'm going to take this off. There you go. See, it came through. And then I'm going to put a little bit more glue on it just to kind of hold the bottom of the flower together, because you still need that. You still need this because I just popped them off of the stem here. So I'm going to get the stem and I'm going to put it in. And you could put a dab of glue too, but you really don't need it. And then when you look at your flowers, they're just fuller, they're prettier than, say, you know, I'll take the fullest flower that's on this one and I'll show you the difference. So when you compare the two, I like this one better. So I'm going to do these to at least maybe 5 flowers. And then I have some other Dollar Tree finds that we're going to put in here as well. Hold on. Okay, so out of 3 Dollar Tree sunflowers, I got 6 really full sunflowers. Now let me tell you something. I know my prices when it comes to this when I go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, because that's usually where I find a lot of my florals. And to get this full and them all look this full, I would spend more than $3. You would maybe get 1 or 2 in a bunch of 6 that might be this full, but it's not going to be $3. So take the time. This really took me literally 10 minutes to do. And I'm telling you, those don't look like Dollar Tree flowers. They look a lot more expensive, in my opinion. So I'm going to set these to the side because I forgot about these, and I wanted to show you that Dollar Tree has these really pretty glittered ferns. And this is more of a burgundy glitter, and this is more of an orangey gold glitter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a few of these and I'm going to add it to our arrangement here. And I think I'm either going to like cut these two apart, because I don't want the glitter laying out too far, because the glitter will be all over my table and we don't want that. So I'm going to just kind of add little peeks of that glitter throughout. So I put one there, so I'm going to go put one over here to kind of give it some balance. That's the way I kind of look at things. I want things to be a little bit more balanced. So I'm just going to put a little bit there. So let's cut a little bit more. So each stem here has like 2 leaves. So I'm going to make sure that I have 2 leaves to use here. So we're going to put one, let's just put one right in here. And I think this is looking really high end. You know, if you go to the store, like if you go to like a Kirkland's or even Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and they have like something you can buy that's pre-made, it's really expensive. So Right now I have the frame, I have the foam, I have 3 of these, so that's $5. And then I had some extra leaves, so maybe a couple more bucks. Let's say 7, 8, 9 for these, and then another 3 for that. So you're up to 12 bucks for an arrangement, and you could be done. You could be done. So I think that this is going to be really cute and would be a great way to decorate for fall, to decorate for Thanksgiving, any of that. So, and I'm probably not going to use too much of this. I'm going to have some left over so you could use for another project. So, alrighty. Let's just do 2 more of these and then we'll go on to our flowers. Okay, so let me show you a little tip. If you get one of these Dollar Tree lint brushes, it's a great way to get all those little sparkles off of your mat and your work spot. So I always love to grab some of these because they're super handy when crafting. So what's the next step we can do? There's a couple things that we can do here, okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put in my sunflowers just wherever you think that they will look good. That's where I want to put them. I'm just going to add them to the pretty centerpiece we have going on here that doesn't have to cost $100 or 75 bucks or whatever you see at the stores. You can have something beautiful and simple and elegant, and you can get the most of the stuff at the Dollar Tree. So when I saw, I'm going to move one over here. When I saw this football frame, I thought this is what looked good to me. I thought the shape of it, it forms it really nice. This is better than just like the little brick of foam. It gives it such dimension that it would be really hard to do otherwise. So I hope that you're enjoying this take on it. So there I put in those. Now let me show you some other options, okay? So you're gonna kind of see, that's kind of like the side view. So I'm not done with this. I want to do one of 2 things. I either want to take, I think I want to just take that big pumpkin and set it in the middle. This is another Dollar Tree find. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to take a long wire and I'm simply just going to put it in there. I might have to, here, we're going to help it out here. Put a little hole there. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Let's put a little bit of glue down. And we're going to make it a stem for our centerpiece. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to just let that dry and I'm going to set that aside while I talk to you, okay? All right, so let's let that set. Now, they had some things like these little clips. Now, these are $1 a piece, and these I thought were really super duper cute. And you could just put some of these in it. Here's an orange one. Here is a yellow one. And you can go on dollartree.com. My link will be in the description box below. So I don't know if I want to add that much bling to it, but you could do that. If your Dollar Tree doesn't have the stuff, you can order online. Now, for instance, the frames, you have to buy a box of them. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to buy 24 of them. Well, here is something that you can do. If you want those frames, I bet you there's people in your area that would too. So if you bought a box of the frames and then put them on your local Facebook marketplace or whatever, you could probably sell them for pretty quickly to get rid of them so you wouldn't be stuck with them. So that's kind of my little suggestion if you don't want to buy that many. So this is another option. And then they have these little decorative picks and they're little pumpkins. I'm going to just open this up. I hope it's not too loud. And you could just simply add them into your, I think those are really pretty. What do you think? I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to just add a few of these in just to kind of add another dimension. And you can get little picks at like your local Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, any of that. So I want to cut this one down actually. So there's so many things, and they even have these little bulbs. They're like little berries, not bulbs, but berries. And I thought I got some, but I guess I didn't because I can't find them now. So those are some things that you could do too. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, and I have another bag of them here somewhere. So let me find those, and I'm going to add another one. Okay, so now we're going to add, this is nice and dry. I'm going to cut it a little bit because we don't need it quite that long. But now we're just going to add it down into the center. And it's just going to sit there. And I think that's adorable. I know let's see, you can't see it. I'll get a better picture for you in the first clip here, but I think that this is cute. I think this is a great way to use the football wreath frame and make something different. And I didn't spend a lot of money on this, guys. This was probably $15 altogether, and I have a beautiful centerpiece that does not look like I didn't spend a whole lot more making it. So anyways, I would love for you to go over to This Southern Girl Can and Michelle at A Noble Touch, and I would like for you to watch their videos and leave them a sunflower emoji if you have them, and tell them Julie's Wreath Boutique sent you. If you would like to see more of these collabs, we have things that we're thinking about, but what do you guys want to see us do? Let us know in the comments below. We appreciate you following us on social media and here on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to me yet, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you'll see me the next time I post a video on To Julie's Wreath Boutique. So I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun making this. This was like something different for me, and I enjoy doing these collabs. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.